I watch the world move faster, faith measured in forward motion. Everyone seemed ahead of me with clearer devotion. I counted days, compared steps, wondered why I was slow. But you never looked impatient at the pace I chose. I thought holiness hurried, that grace ran ahead, but you walked beside me, matching every step. Oh, I was never behind you, never late in your eyes. You don't measure worth by progress or speed or perfect lines. I don't need to catch up, I don't need to prove I was never behind with you. You don't rush hearts into readiness. You don't push souls ahead. You walk at human rhythm and meet us where we're led. I wasn't missing purpose, I wasn't losing truth. I was right where you were walking, so I was never behind with you. Oh, 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 oh. If love walks, not races, then I was always near. I was never behind with you, never late in your eyes. You don't measure worth by progress or speed or perfect lines. I don't need to catch up, I don't need to cut, I don't need to prove, I don't need to prove. I was never behind with I learned how to leave quickly, how to walk when things got hard. I thought survival meant escape from a breaking heart, but you kept showing something different, something slower, something brave. You didn't teach me how to flee, you taught me how to stay. You stayed when answers didn't come, when trust fell thin and worn. not how to run away. You showed me faith is present, even on the hardest days. I don't need an exit plan, I don't need escape. You taught me how to stay. You stayed when I was restless, stayed when I was unsure. You stayed when I kept doubting if love could still endure. I learned strength doesn't mean leaving, it means choosing to remain. You taught me how to stay present in discomfort and in pain. If love remains, then so will I. You taught me how to stay, yeah. And I'm still here. Oh, you taught me how to stay, yeah. And I'm still here. You taught me how to stay. I thought strength was required, that faith demanded control, that weakness was a failure I needed to withhold. But you never praised my toughness, never needed my defense. You stayed close to my breaking, like weakness made sense. You never asked me to endure alone, never told me not to feel. You welcomed all my trembling as something honest and real. I learned strength isn't hiding pain, it's trusting where it belongs. You never asked me to be strong. Oh, you never asked me to be strong. Oh, you never asked me to be strong. You asked me to be near. You didn't measure faith by courage, you met me in my fear. I don't have to hold myself together, I don't have to pretend. You never asked me to be strong. You never asked me to be near. There were parts of me I rejected, rooms I wouldn't let you see. I thought love required correction before it could reach me, but you kept entering gently where shame had built its wall. You loved the parts I avoided like they mattered most of all. You didn't agree with my self-judgment, didn't echo my critique. You saw beauty where I saw failure and stayed there patiently. I learned healing isn't self-erasure, it's mercy learning its way. I let you love what I hated, and it didn't turn away. I let you love what I hated, what I tried to erase. You didn't flinch from my shadow, you stayed in that place. I stopped fighting myself, stop closing the gate. I let you love what I hated. I spent years polishing answers, learning what to say out loud. I wore belief like borrowed clothing, trying not to stand out. I hid the questions in my pockets, kept my weakness out of view. I thought faith meant looking certain, even when I wasn't true. But exhaustion tells the truth when pretending runs dry. You met me where I finally stopped pretending, where nothing left to prove. You didn't need my practiced answers, you wanted what was true. When I dropped the mask of knowing and let the silence through, you met me where I finally stopped pretending, and you stayed. I didn't come with clean conclusions, I came tired and unsure. I brought a heart still rearranging what I once thought was secure. You didn't ask me to perform belief, you didn't test my voice, you just sat with me in honesty, like honesty was choice. If truth is enough, then I don't have to hide. Where I finally stopped pretending and called it faith. Ooh, I'm not pretending. explanations, something clear I could defend. I wanted love that made sense from the start right to the end. But you never justified yourself, never argued your way in. You just loved me consistently and let the questions live. I tried to understand you fully before I let myself rest, but you kept loving me gently without passing a test. You didn't answer every why, you didn't prove you were right. You let your presence speak louder than logic ever mind. You love me without explaining yourself, without making a case. You didn't wait till I greeted you. You stayed anyway. You trusted love would teach me what arguments never could. You love me without explaining yourself, and somehow that was good. I don't need you to make sense the way I once believed. I've learned that love doesn't convince, it invites and receives. Your kindness carried answers long before I understood. You love me without explaining yourself, and now I trust you could. Love doesn't always explain, it remains a I thought rest meant quitting, thought it meant I gave in. So I kept my hands busy when my heart wore thin. I wore exhaustion like honor, called it faith, called it strong. But something in my spirit knew something was wrong. I am learning to rest without shame or disguise, to lay my worries down and trust what survives. I don't have to earn peace, I don't have to confess. I am learning to rest.
I learned that trust is quiet, that faith can be still, that God doesn't speak louder when I force my will.
Sometimes the truest answer is closing my eyes and letting myself be held without asking why.
Even the earth is given seasons to lie still and new.
Why did I believe I was made to push through?
I am learning to rest and
nothing fell apart. The world kept turning while I softened my heart. I didn't falling. I didn't love less. I am learning to I used to measure healing by how fast I could move on. Every pause felt like a failure. Every tear felt wrong. But mercy never hurried me, never asked me why. It just stayed beside my breathing till I learned how to try.
Grace knows my pace.
It doesn't rush my heart. It meets me in the middle of the dark. I don't have to be ready.
I don't have to be ready.
I don't have to be brave.
I don't have to be brave.
Grace knows my pain.
Grace knows my pace.
And it waits. I stop comparing journeys, stop racing someone else's light. I learned that slow can still be faithful, and waiting isn't losing time. Every step I take in honesty counts more than speed. Grace is not impressed by emotion, it responds to need. There's no shame in taking time. I used to measure healing by how fast I could move on. Every pause felt like a failure. Every tear felt wrong. But mercy never hurried me, never asked me why. It just stayed beside my breathing till I learned how to try.
Grace knows my pace.
It doesn't rush my heart. It meets me in the middle of the dark. I don't have to be ready.
I don't have to be ready.
I don't have to be brave.
I don't have to be brave.
Grace knows my pace.
Grace knows my pace.
And it waits. I stop comparing journeys, stop racing someone else's light. I learned that slow can still be faithful, and waiting isn't losing time. Every step I take in honesty counts more than speed. Grace is not impressed by emotion, it responds to need. There's no shame in taking time, no guilt in learning how to stand. Grace was never in a hurry. It was always holding my hand. Grace knows my pace. Oh yeah, it doesn't turn away when I move one trembling inch a day. I'm not behind. I'm not behind. I'm not misplaced. I'm not misplaced. Grace knows my pace. I am not late. I am not late. I am becoming. I kept apologizing for taking time, for still feeling what I should have healed. I thought faith meant fast answers, less weight, less hurt to feel. I tried to rush my own forgiveness, try to move on overnight, but you never seemed uncomfortable with the length of my fight. You didn't tap your foot impatient, didn't look at your watch inside. You sat beside my hesitation, like waiting didn't cost you time. You weren't asking for improvement, you weren't asking me to try. You were only asking presence and honesty when I cried. You never asked me to hurt me even, never pushed me to be fine. You let the wound breathe openly without abandoning my side. You didn't rush me toward closure, you didn't shave my pain. You never asked me to hurt me. They If love is patient, build them to it, and you love me well. You never asked me to hurt the healing. You waited where I was. You taught me healing isn't moving, it's learning how to trust. Still healing, and you're still here. And you're still here. Shame has a familiar voice. It knows exactly what to say. It reminds me of every time I almost walked away. I learned how to listen closely, how to call that voice my own. But grace kept interrupting with a tone I didn't know. Grace didn't argue with my past, didn't shout my guilt away. It just kept speaking steadily to shame lost what power it had to stay. It didn't deny my failure, it didn't minimize the truth. It just refused to let my worst moments define what I am to you. I let grace be louder than shame, louder than regret. I stopped replaying the mistake like you hadn't seen it yet. Your mercy spoke with patience, not accusation or blame. I let grace be louder than shame, and it changed my name. Oh, I don't need a silent shame. Grace does that on its own by staying longer than condemnation and calling me home. I still remember what I've done, but it doesn't rule my days. Grace gets the final word now in how I see myself and pray. If grace gets the last word, then hope is safe. I didn't come with certainty, I came with open hands. I brought my doubts like fragile things, didn't understand. I was afraid you'd correct me, tell me what not to feel, but you listened without interrupting, like questions didn't offend was real. You didn't rush to solve the mystery, didn't close the space between. You let the wondering stay open, like wondering was part of believing. You didn't love me despite my questions. You loved me where they grew. You were gentle with my questions and patient with my truth. You were gentle with my questions. You didn't make me choose. You didn't shame my hesitation. You stayed while I searched for truth. I didn't need to silence wondering to be close to you. You were gentle with my questions, and that gentleness pulled me through. Oh, if truth isn't afraid of doubt, then neither are you. I don't need I don't need all the answers. I don't need all the answers. I don't need. Oh, I need your voice. I used to pray for smooth roads, for belief without resistance. I wanted faith that felt natural, not something I had to live in. I asked for answers that settled me, for clarity I could keep. But you kept offering presence instead of guarantees. I thought difficulty meant distance, the struggle meant I was wrong. But you stayed close in the tension, like tension was where I belong. You didn't simplify the journey, you didn't make it neat. You taught me how to walk with you on unsteady feet. I stopped asking for easy faith, stopped praying it would be light. I learned belief is often heavy and still holy in the fight. You don't leave when trusting hurts, you don't step back from the strain. I stopped asking for easy faith and found you in the pain. Now I don't measure faith by comfort or by how calm I appear. I measure it by who I stay with when the path isn't clear. You don't reward certainty, you don't require ease. You just keep walking beside me in my unbelief. If faith is choosing presence over proof, then I choose you. I stopped asking for easy faith and learned how to stay. Stopped asking for easy faith and learned how to stay. I thought love showed up in moments that felt important and bright, and breakthroughs, revelations, in songs that rose at night. But you kept visiting quietly on days I barely noticed, days without announcements, where faith felt almost pointless. And you met me while I was folding doubts into another routine, while the world stayed unimpressed with the life I was living. You didn't wait for meaning, you didn't ask for display. You loved me in the background of an unremarkable day. I let you love me on ordinary days when nothing stood out. I stopped waiting for holiness to arrive with a shout. You didn't need my life to sparkle, you didn't need me brave. I let you love me on ordinary days, and it changed my fate. Now I don't overlook the quiet, I don't rush the in-between. I've learned grace often whispers where I thought nothing had been. You call faithfulness beautiful, even when no one sees. You keep doing holy work in the most unnoticed things. Yeah. If you are present here, then this is sacred too. I let you love me on ordinary days and learn to stay. I let you love me on ordinary days and learn to stay. I let you love me on ordinary days and learn to stay. I used to apologize for hurting, like pain meant I was weak. I learned how to call endurance faith, and silence something deep. I thought healing meant erasing every mark the past had made. But you never called my wounds mistakes. You never turned away. I judge myself by outcomes, by how well I carried weight. But you kept calling the struggle a language I was learning to translate. You didn't shame my questions, you didn't scold my tears. You called them honest evidence I'd lived through difficult years. I stopped calling my pain a failure, stop wishing it away. I learned it doesn't disqualify me, it doesn't make you stay away. You don't love me despite my breaking, you met me right inside. I stopped calling my pain a failure and let it be part of my life. You don't rush past the hard chapters, you don't rewrite them clean. You redeem what I thought ruined, and call it where you've been. My scars on interruption, their places grace has stood. And somehow you keep calling broken things exactly where you're good. If pain can still be sacred, then nothing's wasted now. I stopped calling my pain a failure. It's no longer something I do. It became a place nice easy start to be me, not something you walk by. Oh, yeah. I thought silence meant you left me, thought the night erased your face, thought unanswered prayers are meant I somehow fallen out of grace. But now I see you never moved, I just couldn't feel the ground. You were closer than my heartbeat when I thought you weren't around. I didn't lose you in the dark, you were holding every breath, yeah. Even when I couldn't see you, you were closer than my chest. The dark didn't steal your presence, it just taught my heart to pray. I didn't lose you in the dark, you were leading all the way. I blame the night for taking you, but it was fear that closed my eyes. You were working in the places I was too afraid to try. And now I know the darkness wasn't punishment or test. It was space enough for learning. I don't walk this road alone. You don't leave when light is gone. You don't disappear with dawn. You are faithful through it all. I promised I would do better. I swore this time was different. I meant every word I prayed, till I broke it in an instant. I rehearsed my apologies, expected disappointment in your face, but you looked at me with mercy, like you already knew my name. I've seen people walk away when I couldn't meet the mark. I've learned how failure thins the room and thickens up the dark. So I brace myself for distance, for silence, judgment, shame. But you stayed closer than before when I fell back into the same. You didn't turn away when I failed. You didn't close the door. You didn't love me any less than you loved me before. When I couldn't stand in my own defense, when I had nothing to say, you didn't turn away. When I failed, you stayed. I thought grace was for beginners, for the first time, not again. But you seem more interested in how often I come back than when. You don't count my confessions. You don't roll your eyes at regret. You meet me right where I felt like you never left. If love only stays for winners, then I never stood a chance. But your love stays in the failure and calls it part of the plan. You didn't turn away when I failed. You didn't shame my name. You didn't use my weakness as a reason to walk away. Yeah. You met me in the wreckage. You stayed when I broke. Oh. I've tried to pray the right way, try to sound strong and sure, try to keep my doubts outside your holy open door. But the questions keep on knocking, and they won't stay in their place. So I bring them like they are, Lord, not dressed up in fake faith. I was taught that doubt is dangerous, that questions mean I'm weak, but you never turned away from me when honesty found its voice. You listened without flinching. You didn't walk away. You stayed right in the tension of the things I couldn't say.
Even my questions
belong to you.
Even the faith I
Can't explain.
If you're the God of all creation,
You can handle all my pain.
I won't hide what I'm afraid of.
I won't clean it up for show.
Even my questions,
Even my questions.
so I'll bring them as they go.
Yeah. If you're not scared of my honesty,
Why am I?
why am I? The truth is what you're asking for.
Here's my life.
Even my questions
Scared of my questions.
belong to you.
Even my questions.
Even the ones that shake my ground. You don't love me for my certainty. You love me because I'm found
So I'll come as I am.
unfinished, still learning.
You what you're like.
Even my questions,
Even my questions.
and you're not threatened by my knife. Oh, I believed you for the sunshine. I believed you for the plan. I believed you where the future fit inside my open hands. But the nights that never answered, the prayers you didn't move, taught me faith is more than saying I still believe in you. I know you're good in scripture. I've sung it all my life. But believing when I'm bleeding is a different kind of fight. I don't doubt that you are faithful. I just doubt myself sometimes. And I'm tired of pretending that I'm doing fine. I'm still learning how to trust you. Still unlearning all my fear. Still deciding if your promise means you'll stay when you're not clear. I don't doubt that you are faithful. I just doubt myself sometimes. So be patient with my weakness, Lord. I'm learning how to trust you. I've trusted you with miracles. I've trusted you with grace. But trusting you with silence feels like standing in the rain. Still you don't demand perfection. You don't walk away from doubt. You stay inside the questions till the truth works itself out. Faith isn't confidence, faith is staying anyway. Faith is choosing you tomorrow when today still feels afraid. Learning how to trust you. I'm still learning how to trust you. Still learning all my fear. Still believing that your goodness isn't scared of what I say. You don't rush me to be fearless. You just walk me through my mind. So be patient with my weakness, Lord. I'm learning how to trust you. I'm not there yet. But I'm still here. I didn't come with polished words tonight. Didn't dress my feelings up in light. I didn't know the verses I should say, so I just showed up anyway. I left my pride outside the door. Didn't have the strength to fake it anymore. All I had was truth and shaking hands, and you seemed to understand. I brought you my honest prayer, not the one that sounds right. I brought you my doubt, my fear, my unfinished faith. Tonight I didn't promise I'd be brave. I just promised I'd be real. I brought you my honest prayer, and you met me where I kneel. I used to think you wanted perfect words, faith without the cracks, without the hurt. But you leaned closer when I spoke my pain, like honesty was never a mistake. If you're not afraid of what I feel, why have I been hiding it? If truth is all you ever asked, then here it is. I brought you my honest prayer. Every tear I tried to hide, you didn't turn away from me. You stayed right by my side. Now I know what grace sounds like. Grace sounds like, it sounds like letting go. I brought you my honest prayer, and you didn't every tear I tried to hide. You didn't turn away from me. You stayed right by my side. Now I know what grace sounds like. Sounds like letting go. I brought you my honest prayer, and you didn't say no. I used to be, I was taught to stand up straight, to never let them see me fall, to smile through the cracks in my voice like I didn't need help at all. I called it strength, I called it faith, but deep inside I always knew I was just afraid of admitting how much I needed you. I prayed with polished language, I hid the shaking in my hands. I tried to look like someone who always understands, but the weight kept getting heavier every time I played it cool, till the truth broke through my pride and whispered, "You're human too." You never asked me to be fearless, never told me not to cry. You just waited for my honesty to finally arrive. I'm not ashamed of needing you,
Not anymore.
if weakness is the doorway,
Then I'll fall on the floor.
I don't have to be impressive, I don't have to be strong. I'm not ashamed of needing you. I should have known all along. Somewhere along the way I learned to call my distance control, to say I had it all together while my heart was losing hope. But you don't love the version of me that never breaks or bends. You love the one who finally admits I can't do this on my own. If grace only comes to the broken, and this is where I belong. If mercy meets me at my weakest, then weakness isn't wrong. I'm not ashamed of needing you, I won't hide it anymore. If falling is what brings me closer, then I'll fall right to the floor. You don't turn away from my hunger, you don't shame my desperate prayer. Yeah, I'm not ashamed of needing you. You've been waiting right here. I don't need to be strong, I just need to be yours. I've been racing through my healing, trying hard to feel okay, counting progress in my changes, wondering why it takes so long this way. I thought grace would fix me faster, tie my loose ends overnight. You keep walking slow beside me, like there's no reason to fight. I confuse speed with faithfulness, silence with delay. But you never seem offended by the pace I need today. You're not tapping your foot impatient, you're not checking off my past. You're more concerned with how I'm growing than how fast. Grace is not in a hurry, it doesn't rush me through the pain. It lets the wound breathe open till healing knows my name. You don't love me more tomorrow than you love me now. Grace is not in a hurry, and that's how I know it's real somehow. Something's healing quiet moments, some scars need gentle time. You don't call it wasted waiting when I'm learning how to be kind. I'm not late to my becoming, I'm not failing in delay. I'm still walking in your mercy every step of the way. If you're patient with my story, I can learn to be the same. Grace is not in a hurry, it stays until I'm home. It doesn't push me toward perfection, it keeps my fragile soul. Now I'm letting go of timelines, learning how to stay. Grace is not in a hurry, and neither are you with me today. Slow is not fair, slow is still great. Grace walks with me in the dark, in the darkness of my burden, where my heart begins to shake, where the quiet of the night reveals the things I can't escape. There's a presence walking softly with a strength I cannot see, and I know that when I'm trembling, grace is walking next to me. Every shadow that surrounds me, every fear that hems me in, meets the comfort of your mercy that restores the hope within. And the blues guitars bending like the sigh of broken heart, while the grace that walks beside me slowly pieces me apart.
When the dark begins to swell,
still your grace is like a well. Grace walks with me in the running far from what is true, trying hard to keep the distance from the grace that comes from you. But your love keeps breaking barriers, crossing borders I create, till the walls I built in sorrow crumble under heaven's weight. In the nights I felt unworthy, in the days I felt undone, you remind me that your mercy doesn't fade from what I've done. And the organ hums forgiveness while the blues guitar will sing. There is love that keeps on coming, love that finds me anyway. When I'm far from where you are, still you meet me where I am. Love that finds me anyway, even when I walk away. Through the darkness, through the pain, still your mercy will remain. Love that pulls me from the dust, teaching me again to trust. Even when I lose my way, there is love that finds me anyway. There were days I felt abandoned, days I doubted I belonged, but your tenderness kept singing like a quiet, holy song. Now the gospel in my spirit rises gently as I pray, for the love that keeps on searching, love that finds me anyway. Find me, Jesus.
Find me, Jesus.
Find me still
In my wandering.
in my will.
Find me broken.
Find me whole.
Let your love restore my soul.
Oh. Love that finds me anyway, even when I walk away. Through the darkness, through the pain, still your mercy will remain. Love that pulls me from the dust, teaching me again to trust. Even when I lose my way, there is love that finds me anyway. Lord, love that finds me anyway. Your light, your peace, in the quiet of your presence, when the world is fading low, I can feel a gentle healing in the places I don't show. All the fears that I've been guarding, all the wounds I tried to hide, start to open in the silence, where your mercy meets my pride. When the blues inside me tremble, when my voice is lost in song. You remind me of the promise that your love has held me long, and the whisper of your comfort settles heavy on my chest, till I feel my weary heartbeat slowly fall into your rest. When all my strength is failing, your peace is shining still. In the quiet of your light, every shadow takes its flight. All the sorrow I have known meets the mercy of your throne. In the quiet of your peace, all my striving learns to cease. In the quiet of your light, Lord, you make my darkness bright. There were nights I felt forgotten, where the silence felt like stone, but you showed me in the stillness I was never once alone. And the soft forgiving radiance of your everlasting grace gives a warmth that fills the corners of my long and empty space. Shine on me, shine through me, break the chains I cannot see. Shine on me, shine through me. Let your love restore my peace. Your light, your quiet light. There were seasons I stopped talking, not because I walked away, but because the words felt heavy and I didn't know what to say. I still showed up in the silence, still carry you in my chest, but my faith felt more like waiting than believing at my best. I thought silence meant forgetting, like distance slowly grows. I thought love needed constant sound to prove it still was close. But even when I stopped reaching, stopped naming what I feel, you stayed nearer than my breathing. You were always here. You didn't leave when I went quiet. You didn't turn away. You didn't need my explanations. You stayed anyway. When my prayers fell into stillness, when my voice was gone, you didn't leave when I went quiet. You held on. I'm learning faith doesn't vanish when the conversation slows. Some of the deepest trusting is the kind nobody knows. You're not anxious in the waiting. You're not scared of wordless days. You listen deeper than language. You hear what silence says. If love only lives in speaking, then I'd be lost somehow. But you were never louder than truth, and truth is quiet now. You didn't leave when I went quiet. You didn't count the days. You stayed steady in the stillness. You never walked away. Now I know you're not dependent on how strong my prayers sound. You didn't leave when I went quiet. Oh, you were already around. I don't have to say much. Oh, you're still here. There's a river in the distance, but I feel it in my bones, flowing from the hill of Calvary, where love for me was shown. Every wound I kept in secret, every sin I tried to hide, meets the current of compassion, rolling deep and wide. I have wandered through the desert of my pride and of my doubt, till your mercy came like water, washing all my failures out. Now the blues inside my spirit soften gently as they flow, and the gospel in the river tells me things I need to know. Where the sorrow meets forgiveness, where the shame begins to fall, River Mercy keeps reminding there is grace enough for all. River Mercy, deep and wide, carry all my past behind. Let your waters pure and strong turn my sorrow into song. River Mercy, flowing free, wash the chains right off of me. On the shoreline of your kindness, where the broken find their rest, I can feel the weight I'm holding lifting gently from my chest, and the water keeps on singing ancient hymns of holy love, till my heart begins to echo like the choirs above. Let it cleanse me, let it free me, let the Spirit rise and lead me through the shadow, through the night. River mercy, be my light. Double red lips, stronger ending. River mercy, carry me home. River mercy. There's a valley I've been walking, where the shadows cling so tight, where the mountains seem to murmur that I'll never reach the light. But your footsteps echo softly through the silence of my fear, and I feel your steady presence saying, child, I'm always near. I've been holding hidden heartache like a stone inside my chest, but you teach me how surrender is a doorway into rest. And the blues guitar keeps bending like a prayer I cannot speak, as you carry my heart through the valley, lifting burdens from the weak. When the night grows deep and cold, still your mercy takes a hold. Carry my heart through the valley low, lead me where your rivers flow. When the darkness blinds my way, be the light that guides my day. Carry my heart through the valley deep, hold me close till fear falls asleep. Through the sorrow, through the night, carry me into the light. There were seasons I felt broken, seasons soaked in quiet tears, but your love became the compass through the wilderness of years. And your whisper in the stillness makes my trembling spirit rise, as you carry my heart through the valley with a grace that never dies. Through the valley, through the valley, through the pain, through the rain, through the thunder, through the rain. Carry me, carry me. Yeah, yeah. Grace like fire, like water. There's a burning in my spirit, like a flame that won't grow cold, and a river running through me with a love that won't let go. Every failure from my past life, every hurt I tried to hide, meets the cleansing of your fire, flowing gentle deep inside. Ooh. When the world begins to tremble and my hope starts falling thin, you remind me you're the healer of the war I hold within. And the blues guitar is crying with a truth I long to hear, that your grace is like a river, and it drowns my deepest fear. When the storm keeps closing in, still your mercy says begin.
Grace like a river, fire,
Burning bright,
lifting higher,
washing all my shame away, setting hope like dawn of day. Grace like a river,
fire,
holy cleansing, never tired,
fire,
flowing through my darkest night, turning ashes into light. I've been wandering long and weary through the battle in my chest, but your kindness, like a river, pulls me closer into rest. And the fire of your forgiveness sparks the strength I didn't know, till the love I thought was absent starts to rise and overflow. Let it burn,
let it burn,
let it cleanse,
let it cleanse,
let the river flow again.
flow again.
In my soul,
In my soul,
make the broken places whole.
make them whole.
Grace like a river, fire, flowing me, washing all my shame away, setting hope like dawn of day. Grace like Mercy in the midnight wind, when the night grows still and the world is sound asleep. There's a whisper in the shadows, calling softly to the deep. Every fear I've tried to bury, every tear I didn't show, meets the mercy in the midnight wind that tells me I can grow. There were nights I felt forgotten, nights I lost my honest prayer, but the Spirit kept on moving through the cold and heavy air. And the blues guitar was crying like a voice that understands, till the mercy in the midnight wind took my trembling by the hand. When I'm breaking in the quiet, still your peace comes rolling in. Oh, mercy in the midnight wind, calling me to breathe again. Every sorrow, every fight, fades beneath your holy light. Mercy in the midnight wind, healing places deep within. When the darkness pulls me in, your love finds me once again. I've been walking through the memories that I never learned to face, but your kindness keeps on rising like a dawn of gentle grace. And the organ hums forgiveness while my heartbeat learns to rest, as the mercy in the midnight wind lays its hand upon my chest. Blow on me, Lord,
Blow on me,
heal my soul, Lord.
heal my soul.
Let the wind of grace remind me you are always in control. Double in the wind. Mercy. Mercy in the midnight wind.
Let our hearts sing tonight on a quiet Sunday morning, when the sky is turning gold. I can hear the choir singing all the stories I've been told. Every burden from my journey, every tear I've tried to hide, meets your mercy in the music, and it's pulling me inside. in the shadows of my doubting, where the fears begin to rise. You remind me of your promise, with a truth that never lies. So I lift my weary spirit as the gospel chords begin, and the blues inside my heartbeat turns to praise again. When the nights are heavy, when my faith feels small, your voice is still the loudest, calling through it all. Hearts in harmony, singing out your name. All our chains are falling in your holy flame. From the valley low to the skies above, we are bound together by redeeming love. Hearts in harmony, grace has set us free. Jesus, you're the melody inside of me. Every saint and every sinner has a place before your throne. Every lost and lonely wanderer never walks this road alone. When the choir lifts its voices, something breaks inside my soul. All the years I carry darkness start to fade and lose control. Lead me, Jesus. Hold me, Jesus. Hold me, Jesus. Guide me through the shadows. Your mercy shows. Lift this head. Let your glory flow. Hearts in harmony, singing out your name. All our chains are falling in your holy flame. From the valley low to the skies above, we are bound together by redeeming love. Hearts in harmony, singing out your name. In your holy flame, shades of love. Yes, Lord, keep my heart in harmony with you. I used to come with questions, with reasons in my hand. I thought every prayer needed answers I could somehow understand. I believed faith was clarity, the truth I could explain. But the deeper that I follow, the more I walk without a name. I wanted you to justify every valley, every loss. I kept a record of my waiting, like it proved the cost. But the longer that I stayed here, the less I needed proof. I felt you in the breathing space between what's false and true. I learned to pray without asking why, without demanding reasons first. I learned to place my questions down and trust you with the hurt. I don't need answers wrapped in light. I don't need to understand Some wounds don't come with meaning. Some roads don't circle back. But love doesn't need an explanation to stay when things go dark. You never rush my believing, never force me to be brave. You just stayed until my asking turned into a quieter faith. If you are who you say you are, and silence isn't empty, I'll learn to pray without asking why, without a bargain or a sign. I learned that faith is sometimes just letting go of needing time. I don't know how the story ends, but I know who holds my life. I learned to pray without asking why, and that became my life. Just not demanding anymore. Before I learned how to stay, before I learned how to choose, I was running from silence, calling it freedom, calling it true. I mistook attention for love, noise for something real. I didn't know what it meant to be held without having to feel. I love what felt familiar, even when it left me small. I trusted the shape of affection, even when it made me fall. I gave my heart to quick promises, to hands that didn't remain. I thought love was something you earned by learning how not to complain. But you were there before the language, before I knew how to pray, before I could name the ache in me, or explain why I stay. You loved me before I understood love, before I knew what it cost. You loved me when I called it desire, when I called it being lost, before I learned the difference between being wanted and being known. You loved me before I understood love, something I had to defend. I didn't know it could be patient or stay without needing an end. I confused intensity with meaning, mistook fear for being alive. But you never chased my attention, you just stayed quietly kind. If love doesn't need to convince me, if it doesn't need to be loud, then everything I learned about loving was missing you somehow. You loved me before I understood love, before I learned how to see. You loved me when I was reaching for anything that wasn't me. Now I'm unlearning what hurt me, I'm relearning what's true. You loved me before I understood love, and I'm finally learning from you. I don't have to earn it now. I just have to let it stay. I kept holding my breath. I spent my days asking for exits, for open doors and clear skies. I thought faith meant finding escape routes from the life I didn't recognize. I kept telling myself just endure, like surviving was a goal. But my lungs were tired of waiting for a future I couldn't hold. I called it limitation, I called it being stuck, but you kept calling it a moment where trust could take root and grow. Didn't lift me from the struggle, you didn't rush the air I need. You stood beside me long enough to teach my chest how to breathe. I thought peace would come with movement, would change with being free. But peace arrived much quieter, standing right in front of me. I learned to breathe where you place me, not waiting to be moved. I learned that grace is present even when the view doesn't improve. Stop holding my breath for rescue, stop begging for release. I learned to breathe where you place me, and found a kind of peace. I measured days by distance, by how far I thought I'd come. But you measured faith by presence, by how honestly I'd begun. You didn't shame my restlessness, you didn't rush my doubt. You just kept breathing patience till my fear learned how. I've learned you don't abandon places just because they feel confined. Some holy ground looks ordinary till you change the way I stand inside. I don't need a different setting to feel your nearness grow. You're just as present in the waiting as you are when doors open slow. If you are here, then here is holy. If you are near, then I'm not lonely. I learned to breathe
Where you place me,
right here, not someday else. I learned that staying can be sacred, not a failure of myself. I don't need to escape this moment to feel your peace increase. I learned to breathe where you place me, and my soul found relief. I'm not trapped, I'm not trapped, I'm held, and I can breathe.
Grace that meets me where I fail. I've been stumbling through confession, tripping over what I've done, trying hard to hide the pieces of the battles I have won. But your mercy keeps on rising like a dawn against my shame, and your grace begins its healing when you softly call my name.
Every failure I've avoided, every truth I feared to face, meets the kindness of your presence, meets the warmth of endless grace. And the blues guitar is singing what my heart can't quite unveil. There is a grace that keeps on meeting me exactly where I fail.
When my strength begins to fade, still your mercy will invade.
The grace that meets me where I fail, lifts my heart beyond the veil. When I'm buried in my shame, you remind me of my name. Every weakness, every tear finds a Savior drawing near. Love that never will derail, grace that meets me where I fail. There were nights I felt unworthy, nights I couldn't lift a prayer,
but you stepped into the darkness just to show you're always there. And the organ hums redemption as the choir starts to swell, singing softly of the grace that meets me right where I rebel.
gospel swell,
Grace that rises,
grace that stayed
grace that walks me
through my day,
grace unending,
strong and real,
grace that meets me
when I need. The grace that meets me where I fail,
oh,
lifts my heart beyond the
lifts my heart beyond the veil.
when I'm buried in my shame.
Oh,
You remind the shadows fade. I remember nights of panic, when the room felt small and tight, when the fears around my heartbeat tried to steal away my life. But you stepped into the darkness with a lantern in your hand, and the shadows in the corner couldn't stand what you had planned. Now the blues guitar still lingers, but the song has changed its tune. For your mercy breaks the midnight like a sunrise in my room. Every lie that used to haunt me trembles under heaven's glow, as you whisper to my spirit truths I never thought I'd know. In the stillness of your presence, in the warmth of holy fire, I can feel the chains are melting as you lift my spirit higher. Shadows fade in your holy light, every wrong you make it right. When I'm lost and overcome, you remind me who I've become. Shadows fade, fear must fall in the presence of it all. I have walked through wounded seasons, I have cried in quiet rooms, but your comfort rolls around me like a flower breaking bloom. And the echoes of my failures, once so loud inside my head, lose their power in your kindness as you raise me from the dead. You prepared the gospel at the cross, night met the day, death and darkness lost their say. Through the grave, through the veil, love is stronger, love prevails. In your mercy I will stand, holding tight to nail-scarred hands. Let the shadows fade. In your holy